It seems so common to think of freedom as simply having a wide range of things to choose from, essentially the ability to do whatever you want. But what if I told you that is not freedom, and we are more free when the government provides restrictions on things we can do? This might sound clickbait, but it's not. I want to present a real philosophical argument to prove just that we have gotten freedom wrong this whole time. First, let's define the central principle of freedom that we commonly know about. The same principle libertarians posit. The common idea of freedom is the idea of self-ownership, that holds that each of us is his or her own property, and so each of us has rights over themselves, like having the right over any property one may own. Hence, you have the right to decide what to do with your own body and with your talents and labor power. For a person to flourish, they argue it is required that one has full control over themselves, where no external force intervenes in one's life. However, there are two fatal problems with this view. One is with the self part and another with the ownership part. Let me explain this problem in a story. Imagine that you and your friend wash up on an island. Suppose you are passed out. I wake up and build a fence in which the perimeter happens to be the perimeter of your body. When you wake up, you accuse me of imprisoning you as I've apparently violated your self-ownership rights. But I respond, I have not imprisoned you, I've simply homesteaded all of the land around you. Land that you have no right to since it's all unclaimed. And because I haven't touched your body in any way, I have not violated your right to self-ownership. Now, obviously, a libertarian would posit that this is still a violation of the self-ownership principle, as the whole point of my body is to exercise the various functions it has. The point of my legs are to walk around. Even though you haven't touched my legs, you are still said to have violated them because I cannot use them in their proper way, or what is also called its end goal, which is to walk around. What you have just proven is that our bodies are oriented for certain end goals and have an inherent purpose. Freedom, therefore, having the right of self-ownership, is when we realize and fulfill the end goals of our faculties and functions. We flourish when these end goals are fulfilled. But according to this view, that flourishing is when our faculties and functions fulfill their purpose, and being free is when we exercise the purpose of our functions, certain moral claims are justified as being free. So if the inherent purpose of the mind is to think, then smoking weed to get high, which would diminish sharp thinking, would limit your freedom as it stops the mind from achieving its end goal of thinking sharply. It would follow then that freedom is to do what is considered innocent or good, like not smoking weed or avoiding promiscuous acts. But this is in direct conflict with the claim that to be free is to do whatever you want. There is no such thing as the right to smoke weed or the right to some promiscuous act. These are things contrary to our nature, and therefore doing them makes you less free. This also can apply on a larger scale. The government has a natural inherent purpose to promote the common good, and therefore, what comes natural to the government is whatever it does to promote it. So thinking that freedom to do whatever you want is like saying walking on a tightrope suspended in the sky is safer than walking in an open field. When you're on the tightrope, you have a risk of falling, just like how people have the risk of being lured into things that restrict themselves, especially kids who do not have a formed moral conscience. But to restrict unnatural things like smoking weed is actually preserving and promoting freedom. The libertarian philosophy therefore threatens freedom by resisting any restraints to unnatural acts. In trying to create a free society, it risks people losing their freedom.